Hey future millionaires, this is Phil from the Next Chapter team, and welcome to another ETF review. And today we're going to look at 4 Vanguard ETFs. We'll take a look at the details of each fund and then check out what the performance is and look at what a portfolio would look like if you invested in all 4 funds over a period of time. Before we jump into the review, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share with some friends. Help the channel grow. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy another ETF review. Jumping into the review, we're going to cover real quick on what an ETF is, an exchange traded fund, and how to buy these ETFs. Which ETFs will we review today? First off, the Vanguard High Dividend Yield ETF, Mid Cap ETF, Russell 2000 Growth ETF, and Consumer Staples ETF. What is an ETF? An ETF is a basket or group of investment securities. That could be stocks, bonds, or a mixture of both. ETFs share prices change all day, similar to a stock. ETFs tend to have lower expense ratios and fewer brokerage commission fees than mutual funds. Now, it's important to know how you're going to buy your ETF. Real quick version of quick 4 steps on how to buy ETFs. First off, determine the account. Is it going to be an IRA or a brokerage account? An IRA is an individual retirement account. And then from there, you decide which broker you're going to open it with. So then from there, number 3, you decide how frequently you're going to invest. Weekly, bi-weekly, or even monthly. And the number 4 step is really important. After you've done all the first 3, set up to be as automatic as possible so you can do consistent investing. Now, for each ETF, we're going to do a quick recap of the ETF category, fund benchmark, fund summary, expense ratio, top holdings, and of course, performance. That fund performance is going to give us a quick perspective of what it would look like if we invested in these funds consistently over time. First up, we have the Vanguard High Dividend Yield Index ETF. This one goes by VYM. This one's ETF category is a large value. This one seeks to perform performance and track against the FTSE High Dividend Yield Index. So that's your underlying index. Expense ratio 0.6. So that means for every $10,000, it's $6 per year. And why is it so cheap? Because it's a direct correlation off of an index. So nothing super fancy here, but that doesn't mean you don't get a lot of value. Now let's see what's in there. All right, jumping into it, we have 557 different stocks. That includes companies like JP Morgan Chase, Broadcom, Exxon, Home Depot, Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, Merck, Chevron Corp, and Bank of America. And those top 10 only make up about 23%. So you've got a nice distribution against many different positions. Now, let's look at the sector breakdown. You've got 20% in financials, 12.7% in industrials, 12.4% in healthcare, 11% in consumer staples, 10.6% in energy, and then 10.3% in consumer discretionary. The rest are all under 10%, so real quick rattle off. Technology, utilities, telecommunication, basic materials, and then a little bit in real estate and a little bit in other. Now let's take a jump into what does it look like in terms of performance. Look at that 1 year. 1 year, 18.37. 3 year, 9.56. 5 year, 10.62. 10 year, 10.12. And since inception, 8.53. But nice bonus here, you also get a quarterly dividend. Now, if you reinvest that, that's going to really help you have some good growth as well. Let's move it to the next one. Now we've got VO. VO is a mid-cap blend. This one seeks to perform against the CRSP US Mid-Cap Index with expense ratio of 0.4. So that means for every $10,000, you have $4 in expenses per year. Now let's take a quick look at what you get with this fund. Okay, for this one, you have 316 different positions. So you have companies like TransDominion, Packard, Cintas, Motorola, Dexcom, Wealth Tower. And what industries do you have? What sectors do you have? You have industrials 20.4, technologies 13.9, consumer discretionary is 13, financials 12.9. After that, everything else is under 10%, but you've got a nice spread here. You've got healthcare, real estate, utilities, consumer staples, energy, basic materials, and telco. Completely different list of companies and large positions from your first one. And that's what a nice position, because then you have some true diversification. Now let's take a quick look at what the performance would look like. All right, your 1 year, nice comeback year. Wow, 20.46. 3 year, 5.73. 5 year, 10.94. And 10 year, not bad, 9.89. Again, that 10 years, 9.89. And since inception, 9.83. What interesting ETF we have here. All right, moving on to our next one, VTWG. This is your Vanguard Russell 2000 Growth. This is a small cap growth ETF. This one is performing against the Russell 2000 Growth Index. Small cap utilizing diverse growth. So this focuses on U.S. small caps. And this one has expense ratios of 0.15, which means for every $10,000, you would have about $15 in expenses annually. All right, now how many stocks or positions do you have here? You get 1,073. So 1,073 different companies are in this. Companies such as Super Microcomputers, MicroStrategy, Comfort Systems, Elf Beauty, Simpsons Manufacturing, Viking Therapeutics, Weatherford, Applied Industrials Technology, and that's a good round out. Those barely make up 10%. That's what's really important. Nice diversification here. Again, you have 1,000 companies. This makes a lot of sense. What companies do you get? What sectors do you get with this one? Well, you get industrials, about 22%, technology, 22.4%, healthcare, about 21%, consumer discretionary, at about 12.3%. Then from there, we go all of those under 10%. But that first top section, those first four, make up roughly 70-ish 5%. So the rest of it is really kind of small. So then you've got energy, financials, basic materials, consumer staples, utilities, real estate, and telecommunications. Now let's jump into the performance. What'd your 1 year be? Your 1 year would have been 20.4. Your 3 year, ouch, would have been negative 2.66. But that 5 year is 7.42. 10 year, 7.93. And since the inception, this would have been great, would have been 10.93. Moving into our fourth and final ETF for today. This one is the Vanguard Consumer Staples ETF that goes by VDC. This one is performing against the, tracking against the MSCI US Investable Market Consumer Staples Index. This is a 2575 index, multi-capitalization one, which means it's just trying to go for multiple capitalization. So it's not going to be purely large or purely small. This is blended. And you're going to have a 10.10, making it for every $10,000, $10 of expenses per year. So again, for every $10,000, because it's 0.1 in expenses, is $10 per year. Now, how many companies do you get? You get 103. So 103 companies. What companies do you get? Procter & Gamble, Costco, Walmart, Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, Philip Morris, Target, and Colgate-Palmolive. Then from there, let's look at what sectors, what sub-industrial diversification do we have here? We have consumer staples, merchandise retail of 23.8, household products of 18.8, soft drinks and non-alcoholic beverages 18.4, packaged foods and meats 14.4. Then from there, everything else is under 10%. But you get companies that are involved in tobacco, personal care products, food distribution, food retail, agricultural products and services, distilleries, and then brewers, and then finally drug retail. Now we're going to jump into what the performance would have been for this one. All right, jumping into it. The 1 year was 8.24, 3 year 7.27, 5 year 9.78, 10 year 9.02, and since inception 9.61. Finally, we're going to round out this review with what would happen if you invested in all four funds consistently over a 5-year span of time. Check it out. We're going to take these ETFs, put them to the spreadsheets, and invest like crazy in them on the hypothetical. Past performance does not indicate our future performance, but this gives you a good perspective of what would have occurred and hopefully inspires you to put yourself in the position to invest consistently in ETFs that you are comfortable with over a consistent basis to help you build wealth. Okay, in today's case, we're going to have someone who's investing in their IRA for $7,000 per year. And again, we're going to look at all four funds. We're investing consistently, evenly. So the first one is our high yield dividend, which is 18.37 for the 1 year. 5 year is 10.62, 10 years 10.12. Our mid cap is 1 year of 20.46, 5 year of 10.94, 10 year of 9.89. Then our Russell 2000 small cap one is 1 year of 20.4, 5 years 7.42, 10 year of 7.93. And finally, our consumer discretionary, consumer staples play here, VDC, 1 year of 8.24, and then 5 year of 9.78, and then 10 year of 9.02. And again, we're going to take a look at what it would be like if you invest consistently over 5 and 10 year span of time. All right, let's take a look. And 5 years. What do we have? Okay, 5 years. Investing consistently. Your contributions would have been $35,000. Your growth would have been $11,000. So that would have been a roughly 25% growth on your invested dollars over the span of 5 years. Now let's take a look at what happens when you jump over to 10 years. Let's see if we break that magical 100,000. We did it. 100,000, 117,000. So let's walk through that. 59% would have been all straight principal, your contribution of $70,000, and your growth would have been $47,000 or 41%. So again, investing consistently in all 4 funds would have led you to have a new balance of $117,000, and then again, 41,000 of 41% or 47,000 would have been straight growth. Very interesting. Nice job again, Vanguard team, breaking that 100,000. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hope you enjoyed the ETF review. More reviews to come soon.
Hey, thanks for staying to the end. This video is brought to you by the Next Chapter team. If you enjoyed the video, please take a moment to hit that like button, drop a comment, subscribe, share with your friends and family. This will help the channel reach out to more individuals just like you. We offer one-on-one coaching where we work with people and small businesses to determine a clear path to achieving their financial goals. This includes things like budgeting to reduce debts, planning for big purchases, and even learning how to build wealth with the tools that you have readily available to you. So please see our link below to schedule a free 30-minute call with our team to talk through coaching and understanding your current financial situation. Also, check out some of our affiliate links below for high yield savings account. This is a great place to put your money when you're saving up for those big purchases and your emergency fund. Check out some of our videos right here. And please enjoy and see you in the next video.